Overall crime was down during the summer months. Some numbers are actually up compared to this time last year. Here, let's take a look now at some of those year-to-date statistics. Richmond Police Chief Rick Edwards mentioned today violent crime, he said, aggravated assault, armed robberies, and gun violence all down. But homicide is up 16%, rape up 27%, and commercial robberies are up 6% from this time last year. In addition, Chief Edwards says shoplifting and motor vehicle theft are off the charts in the city of Richmond.
Every chief is judged upon the homicide rate. That is the most, and obviously for good reason, that's the most important thing. But the odds of a Richmonder being the victim of a homicide is relatively low. The odds of walking out one morning and finding your car window smashed, or even having to pay higher prices at the ABC stores because of shoplifting affects all of us, and it affects many more people.
Currently, Richmond police are investigating, as we mentioned, those 5 homicides that happened over the course of 5 days in the city. Now, police have made an arrest in one of those cases, but our Tyler Lane joins me now live. And Tyler, these crimes are spread across 2 precincts, and you spoke with people that are impacted there.
I did, Bill, and they say they are concerned and they want to see change. Now, these 5 killings come after Operation Safe Summer ended, and it begs the question, should elements of that operation, which did reduce crime, should they continue throughout the whole year? It's an afternoon routine for George Rohn.
I've been in the neighborhood for going on 6 years.
Strolling through the park to pick his daughter up from school. But recently,
real concern.
He's feeling on edge in his South Side community, to the point where he doesn't even want his kids outside.
I wouldn't even let her come outside in the yard and play unless I'm out here watching them.
In the last 5 days, Richmond has seen 5 homicides, 2 of which happened just blocks away from Rohn's house. One on Overlook Street and another on Drury Street, where he knew the victim.
I think we need more patrol around here. Very sudden you see a police around here, unless you call them.
I'm happy to answer a few questions if we have it.
Well, that's what Richmond Police Chief Rick Edwards says they did during Operation Safe Summer, which was in effect June 6th through September 8th, when crime historically spikes. In collaboration with state and federal law enforcement agencies, they ramped up patrol in target areas to try and suppress violence. And Edwards says the city recorded its lowest number of summer violent crimes in the past 7 years, at 286 incidents. That means murders, non-fatal shootings, robberies, and aggravated assaults were all down compared to prior years.
So positive numbers, which I think reflect the hard work of the men and women that are behind you today.
But right after the operation ended, Richmond saw that rash of 5 murders.
Unfortunately, we do have these, as I mentioned before, spasms of violence that we really don't have a good handle on right now.
So when asked whether these recent shootings prove that elements of Operation Safe Summer were working and should continue, Edwards says that the time period is not lost on him. However,
we can't just jump every time there's a specific spike. Otherwise, we'd be chasing our tails everywhere. That's why, I've spoken about the micro hotspots in our city, breaking it down, figuring out where historically our violent crime tends to take place and putting resources there. I think that's a better plan than this.
What Rohn would like to see on the streets, more officers, fewer guns.
It ain't all about guns, man. When I brought up, we fought each other. Went back and played basketball the next day with the same person that we fought the day before. Just put the guns down.
And that's a message that we hear time and time again covering these stories. Now, as you heard that man say, he wants to see more officers on the street. But, Bill, as we heard today, the department is still facing a staffing shortage.
That's right. And you asked the chief directly about that. And so the department put the numbers together for us. RPD's Director of Public Affairs, Tracy Walker, telling us the department currently has 598 sworn officers, just under 600. But there's still 157 vacancies. Edwards says RPD's Hire Back program has now put 4 more retired police officers back on the department, but a part-time basis. Edwards says filling those open spots is ultimately a long-term challenge, the challenge of getting younger people interested in law enforcement and working in urban areas.
What I'm not willing to do is simply accept anyone. We've seen where that can go horribly wrong. And police departments had felt the pressure to just staff it with anyone. So we're still holding our same standards. What we have to do is widen the pool.
Edwards says the department is taking steps to do that by partnering with universities, recruiting at military stations, and bringing people in from the private sector who might be looking for a more fulfilling career. Edwards says the department will hold more public safety town halls next month, and we'll be sure to keep you updated on all of those.